Super Bowl. And this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Vikings and the Jags. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, what a moment for this Jaguars franchise. Their first Super Bowl appearance since their founding in 1995.
And how much applause should they be getting? A ton. Why? Finally took the last step because they've been to the AFC Championship multiple times in franchise history. Finally able to step through the door, and now on the precipice of their first ever NFL title.
Meanwhile, for the Vikings, this may be their best chance to finally break the goose egg, Charles. They've been here 4 times previously, still looking, though, for that first Super Bowl victory.
And as every Vikings fan can tell you, those were Super Bowls 4, 8, 9, and 11. So going on close to a half century since their last appearance in the big game.
The 2023 season has 1 game left. Here we go. Super Bowl 58 underway from Vegas. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Bringing them out is the rare southpaw in his 4th year, coming off his best season as a pro, Tua Tagovailoa.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
Now Tua on the bootleg here. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 17 yards on the game's opening play, and a quick first down.
Play action here on the first play from scrimmage. They want to see how the linebackers are going to react. Are they looking to stop the run? Or are they going to sit back in coverage? A really nice job there of going in attack mode early, and they pick up a quick first down.
Fights loose, and some room to run now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. B.J. Ojulari leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Here's Tua. It's Myers again with another catch. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Tua sets up to pass it. And incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
To throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The kick by Pinheiro is good. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least she gets something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And he'll elect not to run with it. The fair catch will move this out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. Bringing them out is one of the most exciting players in the NFL every season. A former MVP, it's Lamar Jackson.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand. Let's go.
Now Hall to start the drive. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They go play action with Jackson. This pass out wide to Hall. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handle winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team the best chance to win.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's airing it out for Williams. Touchdown, Vikings. Jamison Williams, 38 yards. And the Vikings are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now Tua. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind, going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
George Pickens from a yard out. And the Vikings will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Gets around him. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now McCaffrey off right tackle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
But they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 14-3, that's our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. A quick throw there is incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jacoby Myers, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. But no run back here. Fair catch, and this will come out to the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? You know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one. From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed 1st down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the 1st, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Unnecessary run defense.
What's the deal, man?
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. Room here to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Another big play here as they strike for 31.
What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that second level and third, and that's what they were able to exploit.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
They go play action now. Jackson, they'll roll him out right. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. George Pickens, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Isaiah Simmons. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. And his throw here is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Hines now on the return. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 70 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. On 2nd down, a run to Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Jaguars are... Possession here on the turnover on downs. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
Second down and 4. Looking to pass. Tua. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks. He seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes. I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And this returnable for Hines. Oh, nice move. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Play action. It's Jackson. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. George Pickens with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little as a defense when Tua gets out of the pocket. You're worried about him scrambling and getting a first down. But there, he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Third down and 13. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. One of the greatest performances of the year usually, but not here. Halftime of the Super Bowl is skipped, and we are on to the second half. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. George Pickens back out now with the rest of the offense. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
Second down and 6 now from the 26. They'll go again with Hall.
Dancing away at the 35. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
93 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a second down and 9.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. This is caught. Touchdown, Vikings.
Chase Claypool.
And the Vikings are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Tucker with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was finished off by the Chase Claypool touchdown catch.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. George Pickens back out now with the rest of the offense. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic.
There he goes, right side. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown, Vikings. Noah Fant, 66 yards. And the Vikings are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
44.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 65 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Now a 2nd and 2. On play action, here's Tua. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Hall again. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Jamison Williams, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
All right.
Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Isaiah Simmons, his second sack of the night. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Tua going to throw. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter play. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. And the Jaguars send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 115 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Ball on the 39. Here's second down and a yard. Here's Hall again. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Running left, it's Hall. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's Jackson. He'll buy some time, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. On first down, Tagovailoa. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And this is up and good from Pinheiro. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And he'll elect not to run with it. And a fair catch on the kickoff will move the ball to the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. He's got this to Williams, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
They'll look to run with Hall. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the fourth. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Keely Ringo picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive 1st and 10. Tua's throw there complete to Myers. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. 2nd down and a yard. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now Tua.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Keely Ringo picks it off.
And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
Throws the out route and finds Claypool.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Hall on a give up the middle.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll give to Hall.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
They'll run with Hall.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Jags are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their pick.